Creating stuff is a literal superpower. In today's video, we're going to be going over the power of creating things and take a bit off the rails of investing, crypto, business, and more into the scope of just general life and why the world needs you to create, because if everyone's consuming, then how are we going to get things done? First, a simple graphic to get the point across. When you create things, you build up progress slowly. When you consume things, maybe you get a little hit of dopamine, maybe you get a general sense of fulfillment sometimes, or maybe you don't, or maybe you belong somewhere, you feel like you do. But in general, your progression towards your life when you just consume things goes on a downwards trend. Now, we're trying to fight that. We're trying to go towards creation over consumption. And in today's video, I want to explain why that's important and why I found it to be a superpower in itself. 3 years ago, I was pretty lost. Everyone told me to go to college, get a good job. People still tell me that. I was working at McDonald's, and most notably, I was lost in my own mental chaos with all the different opinions that people had about the direction that I should lead with my own life. And that's probably happened to you too. But what did I do? I started creating things. And yeah, the superpower I talked about, I just started creating things. I created t-shirt designs, I created mug designs, I created all types of things. And then I started making YouTube videos about the things I was creating on t-shirts and mug designs, and then other things I was interested in. And I took action to create one day. And now we're here 1,000+ YouTube videos later, and tens of thousands of things overall created later between videos, tweets, graphics, and much more. Every day has been a process of creation for me, and it really has transformed my life. And not just because it's made me an income and I now work for myself, but also because creating things allows you to open a whole new scope of reality. I'll be honest, at first, I was just looking for a way out of the 9 to 5 and trying to find a better path that suited me. I use creation to work for myself now, and last month I made over $11,000. That's a lot of money. Yes, I think it is. Maybe you don't. But the truth is, for money or not, creation, again, is a superpower that the world needs more people utilizing rather than just consuming it 99% of the time and creating the other 1% of the time. I can't say there's one moment where my brain realized that this was the path forward or even a path forward at all. But I can tell you this. Every day that I create something, I became a slightly better version of myself. And maybe it did not feel like it every day, but overall, the progress added up. And over time, I was in a much, much better place just after a few months of creating something every day. Creating stuff as humans allows us to do the following. 1, you can experiment with what we enjoy most. And 2, you can figure out what you enjoy most by experimenting. 3, you can share your findings with others, your lessons, and also work with other people to learn important lessons. 4, you can find out what works. 5, you can find out what doesn't work. And 6, you can complete all of the above with a lot of speed compared to if you just theorized it or wondering what if. But you actually go ahead and create things, you iterate, and you make changes, you learn, and you increase the growth potential of your entire life just by creating things. And if you want to create something, it actually is fairly simple. Just do something and document the process of what you're doing in a way that other people can consume it. It's that simple. It doesn't have to be specifically that, but that's a pretty good example of something anybody can really do on a smartphone. You can tweet about it, write about it, make a video about it, whatever else. Aside from these mentioned things, you're probably still asking, how is creating a superpower? What makes what I can create any different from what someone else can create? Or if we can all create, then isn't creating things a saturated thing to do? Well, the first part of what makes creating a superpower to me is the process of creation over consumption. This is a great way to find out that, hey, I've been consuming way too much stuff, and creating things opens up your eyes to that. Consuming things is fine, but when you don't exert your ideas or your what ifs and your curiosity, or even your urge to put a funny mustache filter on your dog, then your brain becomes quickly overloaded to the point where you go in a sort of autopilot mode. At least that's my experience. When I don't make things, my brain goes to autopilot, and autopilot usually reverts to me doing things that are short-term fulfilling or short-term feel good that don't really help my life at all. Creating things, at least for me, allows me to break out of that cycle of autopilot and test for myself and yourself not only what I may enjoy, but also how I enjoy doing things, and you can figure this out for yourself while you try to create something. If even 1/4 of the human population were to create what they consumed, then we would have tenfold, maybe even 100 times more data and knowledge collectively of the human experience and progression. This, as you may be able to infer, would probably be pretty beneficial to the future, our kids, your kids' kids, and so on. But much of the reason people don't share their creations or go as far as to destroy their own work, and sometimes destruction can be progressive, but really it's because people are worried about what others think and they cannot express their own opinions because they're worried about that. Now, I'm not saying that creating things is a miracle drug that will fix all of your life problems, but I am saying that you will very likely be better off creating more things in your life than if you don't. It's pretty simple. It's not a hard concept to grasp, but consuming less and creating more is the pathway to make your life better. Getting out of autopilot, documenting more, sharing more in your life than you would be scrolling on TikTok every morning. Rather, write in your journal, write a blog, make funny memes, take a picture of the sunset, send it to your family. There are many parts of your life that if you focus on creating into them and not just consuming about them, they would be enhanced. Anyways, that's it for today's video. If you found this useful, then keep in mind this was originally a newsletter, and if you want to check out my newsletter, it is the first link down in the description. I post about crypto, investing, business, and personal growth twice a week, Tuesdays and Saturdays, and stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video, as I also post videos every single day. It's been your friend Jack. Peace.